Okay, so here is my first podcast in the best way I know how, very technically awkward. I wanted to start with this blog post I wrote back in 2015, Charlotte's Just One. I am a year into being a new mom, and I think I was sewing baby clothes, and I was on Fresh Living a few times for like some lifestyle type things, and I had this idea to take some of my blogging posts about cooking and doing a cookbook. So I had wrote a blog post about that, plus my story of feeling capable of being able to do this for myself. Now, if you know me, you know I didn't really publish my book. It's self-published until 3 years ago through the Chatbooks platform. So it's more or less self-published novelty book, but I like it and it's a good memento. So I'm just going to read part of this and add some commentary while I'm reading it. And hopefully it will kind of give you some boost on any of your feelings of self-doubt or feeling like you can't begin a project that you've been thinking about, because you should just do it. So here I go. Okay. Just a couple days ago, I posted about publishing my very own cookbook. For those close to me, you know I love to cook, I love food, I love to entertain with food, and so on. I am so amazed with the outpouring of support and comments. And then there's a screenshot of me announcing it, and then some comments after that. And this was posted August 18th, 2015. Okay, here we go to the next paragraph. It has been a dream of mine since my mid-20s to do something with cooking, whether teach it, write about it, or maybe have a show. I didn't start cooking until that time as well. I mean, I knew I loved food, but I remember as a little kid watching cooking shows on KUED or KBYU in the mornings, and it was Yen Can Cook and Julia Childs on, unknowingly that it was preserved in me this curiosity of cooking. Of course, I also now appreciate those days my mom would come home from work and spend hours prepping our dinners. Asians know how it's done. With fresh homemade cooking, they appreciate the process of developing flavors. One stir fry encompassed a couple hours of work, and I am totally not even joking. From start to finish, my mom would wash, chop, and lay out all of her veggies and seasonings, start the rice, make a sauce, and then cook some sort of protein. However, there were days that she didn't have the energy to do all that, so fried egg with soy sauce on top of rice was dinner. Okay, I'll stop there. My mom is an amazing cook. She never really taught me how to cook. I actually had to teach myself how to cook in my mid-20s. And it's funny that I say I've been wanting to do something with cooking since my mid-20s, but that's when I learned how to cook. I'm glad I didn't do anything, because I'm sure half of the stuff I cooked was burnt in my 20s. But I do love food. I've always loved food. Okay, continuing on. My appreciation for food also stems from my early childhood days. When we were poor and my parents were working multiple jobs, my mom would buy one whole chicken and stretch it for a whole week to feed our family of 4. Then she would make soup from the bones. Rice was always a staple, and if we ran out of chicken, it was just rice and soy sauce for me. So these days, as I growing up and earning my own income, my mom tells me, don't worry about spending your money on food, eat well. Okay, I'll stop there. She always says that. She will say, you don't need to buy fancy clothes or fancy shoes, just make sure you're eating well. And even growing up, whatever little extra income that she had, we would buy crab, or we would go out to eat, or it was always some... Anyways, okay. All right, this cookbook of mine will include some of my mom's cooking. I'm not sure if there will be recipes per se, because she is not a recipe type of person, but if I can document as much as I can of her love and skill into a pan of stir fry, I will feel accomplished in upholding her story and her legacy for Charlotte. That's another part of this book journey, making sure my kid or even kids, now this was 2015, I wasn't even going to have a second kid. That's a whole nother story about Arthur. But here I am, I just have the one kid. Kid or even kids understand that they are culturally blessed with an American, Cambodian, Chinese background and with family that didn't live with silver spoons in their mouths. Okay, I can tell you now, I am awful at making my kids understand the cultural part of my side of the family. It's been just now that I've been kind of introducing them to little bits and pieces. And I would say probably because we didn't spend a lot of time with my mom while the kids were little. It was more of Wes's mom, and so they had more of a connection with Wes's mom. But now as they get older, I think they're starting to connect with my mom. And I'm just slowly but surely integrating that Cambodian Chinese heritage, at least the stories, right? I don't know if we're going to live it, but, at least some of the background so they can appreciate it. Okay. One comment from my social media pages that is common is accomplished. I am being congratulated for my accomplishments, and it feels great, though I humbly deny the accomplishment in the sense of being on TV or becoming an author or making baby clothes. I feel my accomplishment is more of fearing less. I want people to know that I grew up with a constant mode of self-doubt, lack of self-esteem, and no confidence whatsoever. And my ideas were always too American or too crazy or laughed at. It took me years, and you can tell well into my 30s now, to gain that might and that fight to discard self-doubt and fear of just going for it. Once that barrier is broken, it really is astounding how the world opens up. You suddenly feel empowered, and you feel like your life is meant to be lived to the fullest extent possible. Okay, I'll stop there. A light just flipped on after I had a baby, and I was doing this Etsy thing, and then I was starting, the wedding planning stuff, and I felt in control. I think I felt in control, and I felt I was able to steer these ideas in a way I never thought I could. And I think that's where that empowerment comes. That's where the confidence comes. But you have to try. I think that's the biggest thing. You have to try. You have to try to control the start. Right? So what do they say? I don't know what to say. It's like you have to take the first step. You can't run a mile if you don't take the first step. I don't know. I don't even run. I don't know why I'm saying that quote. But be confident in the start. And once you controlled that part, once I did anyways, and kind of followed through the journey, I think that's where the confidence comes. And ever since then, I've just have never been afraid to try something. I will always try something. I'm always one with a new idea, even if it fails, or even if it seems silly at the time, or I will at least try. I will do the start. Okay. Where am I at here? Okay, I want people to know. Okay, nope, that's not it. Support. Okay, support. Support is also key. I always thank God for my supportive family and friends. They encourage me, praise me, and let me know where I can improve. With the shedding of self-doubt and fear, the gain of confidence and drive, and a close circle of love and support, anyone can accomplish anything. It is so true. I post things to inspire people to follow their hearts and their goals, not to boast. And it's still true today. I try not to sound like I am like, hey, look at me, look what I've done. Once again, because I know I'm an overachiever, right? That's like part of me now. And that's just because, like I said, I've had to learn it. I've had to be confident with my start and follow through in the journey and have that control of taking my ideas somewhere, right? And somewhere doesn't always need to be this big win or a big award. Somewhere just means I am so much farther along than I was 2 months ago, okay? And then the last paragraph, I am proud of my accomplishments by trusting in myself and my abilities and surrounding myself with good people. If you need someone to stand behind you on your ideas and goals, don't shy away from calling me. I am in your corner. And I 100% want you to believe this. I am everybody's cheerleader. If you are willing to share with me what it is that you want, I am your cheerleader. I have such a great little circle of friends doing awesome things, and I couldn't be more proud of them. And I am privileged to know them and have them on my side as well. It's just a fun little network. So I just want to end this saying, you know what? I had this switch turn on of confidence in 2015, right? I had worked in corporate for a long time. I never had this type of confidence and this drive before then, because it was always like you work for corporate and you adopt their ideas and you do what you're saying, you know. So being a stay-at-home mom ended up being, as much as I tried to fight it and I felt kind of angry about it, and it's because I felt like I was going to be useless and unimportant to society. I don't know why I felt that way, but being that stay-at-home mom allowed me to find the courage to pursue things that I couldn't have done before. And you don't have to have this life change and be a stay-at-home mom to find this. I want you guys to do it now. I wish I would have done it in my 20s. Honestly, I wish I would have had this confidence in my 20s. So, just to end it, be confident in your start and follow through your journey. Follow through with your idea. And like I said, it doesn't have to be a big win or a big award. It just has to be progress. You will feel